When I heard that there is a waiting list, well, I thought because I should have skipped it, but anyhow, I'm here. I will try to be as short as is possible through this presentation in order to give more time for any questions and issues that you may raise from your day-to-day practice and from your dealings with the Croatian judiciary. What I will go shortly through first is something that we've been dealing in, well, recently in well, past few months very intensively, but actually from the very beginning of our mandate, and that deals with the reorganization of the judiciary, actually of courts and state attorney's office. But I will go through this fast, just to give you an idea. Then I will explain some other directions that we are taking now. I won't be speaking about things that we have done so far, because you can say whether they are good or they should be changed more. These are those judicial areas that I mentioned. Of course, we could have, and it is for next stage to decide whether, for example, we need a small area like this or like some others. But in order, whenever you do something like this, you have to bear in mind that it has to pass through the parliament. So it has to be possible and achievable. And this is why we decided we will create 15 areas. And these are number of inhabitants. And more or less, this corresponds to inflow of cases. Not in numbers exact, but in percentages. 72% of all courts and state attorneys' offices, they have less than 10 officials. In many instances, like one. So you have one judge who is also the president. After this, we'll have only one. It will be misdemeanor court in Šibenik with 8 judges. So by this, we will move them in category of where you can achieve more through different management. And for example, criminal proceedings will be conducted only in seats of courts, not in others, because we lose too many cases, for example, in impossibility of having panels of 3 or whatever judges, and it's really problematic. It's costly, and on the long run, effects are not so good. By this, we can also promote specialization, because this is something that we need. With everything that is going on, time of dealing between 9 and 10 with family stuff, later with I don't know what, then with a little bit with criminal and something else, they are past. So we need judges who will specialize in certain areas. Zagreb, all of you who are lucky enough to have cases before Municipal Civil Court in Zagreb, you will understand it. Zagreb generates almost 30% of all unsolved cases in Croatia. And that taking in mind that it is without criminal and without labor division. Okay, what we want to do in Zagreb is we will expand it, so cover all those small courts and separate it in 3. So by this we'll have more manageable 3 courts. This one will be south of River Sava, and it will cover also Velika Gorica, Ivanić Grad, Vrbovec, west and east. Individually, they will be much smaller than it is now, but in a way with more judges. Why? We will see it later. Okay, we can go on. For example, in Zagreb, it has specifics now. It has separate criminal court and labor court. And what we plan to do is to cover those two aspects with present number of judges. So all judges in area that are now dealing with criminal court, they will be able to deal with civil, same with labor. So this is how it will look. Okay. In Karlovac, they have 52 cases per judge. In Zagreb, they are on 146. First, they were called for the same salary. Secondly, we can't afford this. And if you're unlucky to be there, you will wait a very long time. Problem is, if you're lucky to be here, you will also wait a long time. But that's the problem. We want every county court to be responsible for appeals proceedings anywhere in the country. By this, we will fill all judges with almost same amount of caseloads or workload. We will, by that short appeals procedure, and by time, because for example in civil cases you will have specialization of county courts, so with labor cases there will be 4 of them, so by that we will by time have a harmonization of case law. And fourth, what is not written here, is we will take it from appearance of possible influence of local surroundings. Because if you have in the same building first and second instance, there is appearance of something that is not always very good. But most important thing, it will be done randomly, so without human influence. And we want to avoid it as much as it's possible in locating cases, even on first or second instance. First phase is now, and we will send the law in the Parliament, well, in 2 weeks. If it passes, then next law is law on courts with introducing these court managers. It should be done before the summer. New network for municipal courts and municipal state attorneys' offices should be in place by 1st January of next year. At the same time, new system of appeals proceedings in criminal matters will be in place, and let's say by 1st April, new appeal system in civil cases. But the main challenge is to have all participants to participate, of course, all stakeholders. Ministry, we can pass all these laws through the Parliament, and we will do this. But if we don't succeed in getting support by courts, we won't be able to do it. Because we don't have any mechanism as a ministry in regard to courts. They are completely separate. They elect their managers. They decide of their workload, and it's a problem. Now we have support of everybody, and everybody is proclaiming their support. But if within few months that support won't be materialized, I will not go with this. We can push it through the parliament, we can bring it out, but without support of implementing it, there is no case in this. And that's the biggest challenge. I'm optimistic, and I will do everything that is within my reach to push for it. But if stakeholders like Supreme Court in the first place, State Judicial Council, and others, if they don't support it really, not just verbally, it's questionable whether we will go with this or not.